So there's this new movie coming out in June, Equestria Girls. I think we were all a little apprehensive about this at first because, human ponies, what the heck. But I actually started to accept this and I'm actually kind of excited to see it now. So I decided to make this video of what I think will happen in the movie. So a lot of this is probably going to be wrong and it's going to turn out that I was completely off. But let's just make a few guesses. Brad. From what I have seen of this, he kind of seems like the nice guy, like helping her up, and then she hugs him, which has to mean something. But he's not Soren, okay? If he were Soren, he would have blue skin. Sunset Shimmer. So from what you can see in the commercial, she's obviously the main antagonist. You can see her talking down to Twilight. She's obviously been the prom queen for like a few years. But who really is she? I did a little research on the computer. Yeah, I know, research. And I found this. Years ago, she was also a student of Princess Celestia. So why isn't she still her student? I mean, what happened? Well, there are a few options that could have happened. First is the more obvious one, that she probably just graduated and she's just not her student anymore. But the second one is the one that I'm kind of leaning towards, and it's that she went evil and rebelled against Princess Celestia, which actually seems kind of logical when you look at the trailer. A good friend of mine, Cloud Browning, she's actually really awesome, you should look her up, and she made the really good point that this thingy kind of looks like Chrysalis's big reveal fire thing, I don't even know. And I thought that was kind of interesting, so maybe she might possibly be a changeling. I don't know. Of course, how could I have this without mentioning Twilight Sparkle, because the whole thing is basically about her. Now, the entire plot is revolving around the fact that she's lost her crown. Her crown is the element of magic, and it is the most important element of harmony, at least in my opinion. So, you notice that a lot of the villains in the past have been defeated by the elements of harmony. So when a villain actually goes to steal the elements of harmony, of course Discord, but I'm not talking about him. So when a villain goes to steal the elements of harmony, that's a pretty big deal, and you're gonna want to get them back. So of course that's why she's coming to this human world. And I think it's really interesting that she's lost her magic, because her magic is the thing that defines her. That is her cutie mark. So I think we're going to see some major character development in Twilight in this movie. So I'm kind of reluctant to this, but I'm just going to squash the rest of the main six into their own little segment, because you really don't see much of their own character stories in this. Now, the one thing that kind of bugged me, and this is like one thing that really bugged me about Equestria Girls, is that Twilight comes to this human world, and she just happens to find these other humans that look exactly like her 5 best friends in Ponyville. I mean, what are the freaking odds? So either something weird happened and they followed her and somehow lost their memories, or I don't know if they remember her. It wasn't really clear. I did a little bit more research, and apparently they remind her of her friends, which is ridiculous. I mean, why couldn't they just come with her to this strange new human world where nothing would be familiar? I mean, wouldn't they want to help her through that? Nope, they're just gonna let their alternate universe selves help her with that. That'll work. And how come there isn't an alternate universe Twilight? Why isn't there a character that reminds her of herself? And I'm also wondering, are the main six gonna have the same names? Because if they're not the exact same people, then shouldn't they have different names? It's just a thought of mine. All in all, I'm pretty excited to see this, and I'm kind of curious to see how the whole alternate world thing plays out.
realize that's not a real word, right?